Hello, sir.
You know,
You look hesitant.
my nose is stuffed up.
Oh, how's it going?
My nose is stuffed up. I'm pretty sure I was clear on that.
All righty.
No, I got nose whistles. I'm good though.
Cool. They got another bone to pick. See, every day, every
What did I
week,
do?
there's something. Not with you.
Oh, okay. What's the bone?
Teachers. Again, I love teachers. I love you all teachers, all of you teachers who don't shake your head. I do. The teachers who listen to me speak, who want to come and hear me, they're awesome because they are trying.
Do you know how egotistical that makes you sound? The teachers that come and love what I have to say, I love them. Like that's literally what you just said.
No, because I know or who are trying to
I get it.
do better by their students,
Yeah.
right? Whether it's me or whatever, like they are
I agree.
making a difference and they're trying. And we all make mistakes. We
No.
do. I make mistakes. Okay, yeah. You're perfect. You've already established this every episode. No, I'm not high-fiving you.
But you said it out loud and it's now recorded. High five.
I said it sarcastically.
Nope.
I'm not high-fiving you.
Well, this is going to be a long episode.
Your shoulders are going to get tired real fast. Let's see how long you can hold it up. Somebody time. Actually, I think there's a timer here. Someone's trying to get into our meeting.
Say no.
Oh, your hand's already down.
Well, I was ready to offer you assistance.
Yes.
With the person breaking into our meeting.
I'm sure. So, but they're trying, right?
To be clear, it's not just teachers, because we run into a lot of adults.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
It's
a lot of adults.
Yeah, there's been a few lately of those too.
Maybe it's us. Is it us? Are we seeing a pattern here?
Us. What's that old Simpsons line where Principal Skinner stops and says something about how if the children are so against it, perhaps it's him that's wrong. And he's like, no, it can't be me. It's the children that must be wrong. But there's a lot.
It's funny because B.F. Skinner talked about how children's behaviors children are always right and their behaviors always tell us something. It's good feedback for something that we can do to change.
That's interesting.
It reminds me of a Big Bang Theory episode where everyone's telling Otter to, not Otter, I was looking at the screen.
We're killing it.
Sheldon.
We are 4 minutes in and we are just slinging.
Sheldon kept telling him to leave everyone. And he's like, did Leonard call you? Because he said the exact same thing. And his friend's like, no, I thought it up all on my own. Get out. And then everyone's get out, get out, get out. And after like another prof tells him to get out, he's like, I was trying to think it's me. But no, had a conversation. So there was some good things. I love that the principal got back to me right away. Mm-hmm. I love that the teacher called me, although didn't respond. I tried setting up a meeting last week. After I gave my time, said, sorry, it's not going to work. I'm like, okay, I've got all day Monday open. Never heard back. And then on his way home in the car, decided to call me rather than at school. And it was supposed to be a meeting, but did call me back. So there were some good things. And I like, some of the messaging, how, it's our kids aren't one teacher's student. They're the students of the school. And so all teachers want our students to succeed. And so all teachers are open and willing to help support students if they're struggling and, all of those things.
May I raise a counterpoint to that?
Yeah.
So does that mean that if all the students are students of the school, then all of the math teachers said our child lied?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Right.
But so what I didn't like when he asked me essentially how well I know my daughter and do I believe her, and confirmation bias that she's only ever looking and nitpicking at all of the negative things that are happening in class. And Maya said, like, I love my teacher. I like my teacher. She's super nice. She's just not teaching me math. There lies the problem, right? And so, and there was a counter story for everything. And so I felt right away on the parent side of things, I was really upset. I was shaking upset because there was no time to try to figure out the problem. It was just defense, 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 defense. She's wrong. She's lying. She's only seeing negative without really trying to get a sense of what's going on from what's your story. And that's what effective communication is, right? It's two people's story. And so I know that there's two stories and somewhere in the middle is the real story. But, you know, he acknowledged one of the things that the teacher used the wrong grading key, but
but he used it as a tool to indicate,
to discredit everything else.
Yeah. Right. And
I only said it was one test, and he made it sound like I was saying it was lots of tests, but
like it always makes me laugh when someone accuses someone else of being closed-minded and having their own self-fulfilling prophecy or confirmation bias or whatever you want to call it. And yet all the examples he uses are exactly that.
Yeah.
Right? That the teacher had the same thing.
Yeah.
And he was having the same thing. And it's disappointing.
I went on. I mean, I could go on and on, but it's hard because it goes back to a previous conversation we had that now Maya, and we talked about it afterwards. Because I was really saying, kiddo, I know this kind of went sideways. I know you're worried now about repercussions because it's sounding like this teacher may have biases and has had biases. I don't know for sure, but she's worried about how this teacher is going to interact with her in the future. But I was trying to say, like, this is still really good. It's really good that you're being assertive and you're standing up for yourself and you're having a say. And so I said right out from the start, like, we're not looking to switch teachers at all. We're just making sure that we're all on the same page, and that, you know, Maya knows that it's her responsibility to stop, like, say, stop, hold on 1 second, I'm missing a step. Just go back and explain that. Right. But yeah, I was saying it's important to have these still. And maybe it's gone sideways right now and it feels really uncomfortable right now. But it's important you have this conversation again in the future. And she's like, I don't know if I will.
I know.
It's punishing, right? It's just too much. I may as well just shut up, keep my mouth closed, and suffer silently. And that's what's so heartbreaking now. And she feels even more defeated, even though she spoke up to say something. Right. Yeah.
She identified she had a problem. She identified she was struggling. She raised her concerns about why she was struggling. And the institution told her she was wrong to have brought it up. That's the message. She's not wrong.
Yeah.
She received exactly the message they intended to send. Maybe they didn't intend to send it, but she received the exact message they sent.
Yeah. And everything was true. Like, even when the teacher's like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to teach, you know, so that's how Maya interpreted it, right? That I'm too tired to teach. My brain's not working with math. But then the defense was, yes, that happened. But the teacher said, oh, no, you guys are so far ahead of everybody else. We don't need to worry about this. But the very next day, there was a test on that very thing. And the very question she stopped on and got muddled on and said, my brain's not working, was actually on the test, even though she said, don't worry about it, you guys, everything's good. And then very next day it was on the test.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's frustrating, but all this to say, I guess, I mean, the outcome is Maya, I mean, like I said, we're going to keep staying the same. That's not going to solve anything, is moving classes, but she knows that she can reach out to any math teacher during, you know, tutor times or extra help times. But I don't think
that was my favorite part of what you relayed. He dismissed that there was any issue because she hadn't gone to after hours.
Yeah.
Support.
Yeah.
So
he was questioning me, well, why hasn't she used that after hours support?
At the end of the phone call, I would have went, well, if after hours support is anything like this phone call, I can see why she didn't go out. Because it wasn't like, I have to be very careful here because I wasn't on the phone call with you. Probably for the better. But that sort of dismissiveness, that sort of accusatory tone, right? Like, this person will not go home tonight and go, oh man, hang on. This kid actually raised a concern that she was struggling. And boy, I really didn't do much to help. That won't happen. That person will go home feeling like, well, that's one more kid that isn't going to complain anymore. And we got him. Right. And not that he's saying it in those words, but that was essentially his goal, was not to solve the problem. It was to stop her from complaining. That was it. And I know my kid. I know what's going to happen. She's not going to go to extra hours.
No.
Because every teacher is now a threat to her in that math department.
Yeah.
Period. End of discussion. So,
and it's so disheartening because she was in AP math.
Yeah,
she's a strong math
she was
student,
killing it, math.
And now her confidence is shot and she's given up.
Mm-hmm. And that is 100% a failure of that teacher and that school. 100%. And it's like I said in the last time we brought this up, this isn't a funding thing. This isn't a curriculum thing. This is people who choose not to teach.
Mm-hmm.
That was the opportunity to teach and look at a way of doing, like, this dude is what, the mathematics training coordinator or teaching coordinator? What was the title?
I don't know, like learning lead, something like that.
Awesome. What was the lesson you just taught? How did you lead and show that you're there to help kids learn? You didn't. You acted as an administrator that just wanted the problem off their desk. That is not a failure of the bigger educational issues. That's a failure of that person. That's it. And that's a failure of that teacher.
Mm-hmm.
For that teacher, well, they're just so far ahead. Obviously not if one of the kids is struggling and getting the test results that you're getting.
Yeah.
So would that not be an indicator of, wow, the class average was X. This kid who's now raising concerns about not being able to get it got a much lower turn. You know what? No. I couldn't have done anything differently. Come on.
Yeah.
What an absolute cop-out.
Yeah.
Right?
And then is she the kind of kid who would say she gets it, but not really gets it? I'm like, yeah, she is. And he's like, well, then that's the problem, right?
No,
I'm like, it's not.
No.
I know.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you right now, parent-teacher conferences next week are not going to go well for the math department because I'm not missing that phone call.
Yeah.
And
it's in person.
I'm going to tell, oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh my God.
Sometimes I wish we would video.
I'm gonna terrify an old lady. No, I
think she's younger than us. Be careful.
Then how is she? No, she's not. Maya said she was old.
Yeah, she thinks we're very old as well.
No, but she thought she was like retirement old.
Oh,
like
no. I'm quite confident she's at best our age.
I'm gonna help her get to retirement. Is what's gonna happen next week. No, it's just, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. All posturing and jokes aside, this sort of stuff really aggravates me. It really aggravates, and it especially aggravates me because we go out of our way to teach our girls to speak up.
Yeah.
Ask for help. Be confident. Don't ever shy away, right? Don't let the situation of the society make you a meek girl, because you're not that. And what happens? It's exactly what we're trying to teach them not to have to put up with. Like, that to me that's just a failure. That's just a failure.
Yeah. And it's hard because I thought about, how could we handle this differently? I'm not one. This is the first time in ever that I've ever stepped in. I never step in because it's always their responsibility to do so. But I see how the girls have been just shot down, and she has asked for help, and they're like, oh, just go look at your text, or, just go look at the study booklet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Maya has been reaching out. She's been looking at YouTube videos. She's got access to D2L from one of her friends who took math last semester, who have all of the videos. Like, there's all these videos. This other teacher has videos and learning supports compared to Maya's teacher's got nothing. Same school. So, she is looking for it, and she has asked. And I think of Willow too. Actually, this whole thing Maya's like, Willow's just like, I want to go in and tell my teacher like what it is and then leave, right? Because, and like, see ya, I'm out of here. Like Willow's talking about it every day. She's, saying how hard it is, but Willow is vocal.
Oh yeah.
So yes, Maya could be a little bit more like, no, I'm not letting it drop until you explain it to me. She wouldn't do that. She
should never have to be in that position at school.
No, I know.
Right? It should be one hand raised and I'm missing something. And the teacher can go, you know what? Let me get through this with the rest of the class. Then let's you and I sit down afterwards. And then Maya goes, yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah. And then you move on.
Yeah.
That's not what they're doing.
No.
They're not teaching.
Yeah.
And
but Willow is like, I need help with this. Yeah. And her teacher more than once has said, you'll figure it out. Yeah. Literally, you will figure it out. I'm too busy. I'm working with these other students. You can figure it out.
Yeah. Translation. You're not a problem child, so I'm going to focus on the ones that were given to me. You just flutter off and do your own thing.
Yeah.
And then they're a problem and they raise their hand and it's, well, why didn't you take us up on the offer of the pass the buck teaching method that we've got?
Yeah. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it's super frustrating, man, because these girls, and not just our girls, this isn't a woe is us, but I guarantee if we went out to all of our friends with similar aged kids and asked them, they've all had similar problems. Right.
But not with all the teachers. I mean, Maya's loving the rest of our teachers this semester. They're all fantastic.
Hey, if my kid's going to get painted like all the other kids that come forward with a problem, I'm going to paint the teachers the same way. Well, why not? Like, you know what I mean? Like teachers will, and again, sure, great teachers out there, right?
There are, yeah.
Tons. But if those great teachers aren't holding the bad teachers to the same standard, who cares? It's no different than a bad cop not getting called out by the good cops. Well, they're all bad cops. Right? It's the same logic. Shitty student, good student. They're not helping each other. They're not being like they're being judged the same way. Well, too bad, right? It's generalization is what kills it.
Yeah.
Right. And yes, I know there are good parents. There are good parents. I know there are good teachers out there. I'm not ignorant enough to say there isn't. What is disappointing is that those are never the ones that we have to be dealing with.
I know.
Right. It is only the ones that maybe should be addressing the situation.
Well, the whole time on the phone call, I'm like, he's not a psychologist. He's not a counselor. He's never learned effective listening.
Talks. It's not a great idea.
Well, no, it's just to listen. It's just to listen. Seek first to understand, right? Before you try to be understood. Just basic 7 skills, Stephen Covey, like truly that's what's a missing piece here. And it's challenging. But, on the flip side, I'm also a teacher and I deal with students all the time. So now actually I'm just taking a step back. I was going to talk about bedtime stuff. This is totally off the rails, but sometimes it happens. I feel like we got to maybe move away because we've been talking a lot about the teacher frustrations. But on the flip side, I oversee other graduate instructors, and
adults. Let's be clear here, adults.
The students are adults and the teachers are obviously adults, but, so instructors coming to me complaining about student behaviors, adults' behaviors towards them, and when it's like screaming matches and all this stuff, but then you get the students, of course, but I'm listening. That's the piece. I'm not taking sides. I'm not having the bias. Right? I'm really listening to both parties and empathizing and trying to understand the perspective of both parties. And I'm not getting involved. But then with both parties, we're collaboratively problem solving. How do we come together so we can move forward with a clean slate? Right? It's not appeasing one or the other or trying to brush it under the carpet or anything like that. So, but I can see how it's challenging and I can see how I've been challenged as an instructor too, where it's harder because it's online. I don't have face-to-face. Face-to-face, everybody loves me. So I'm so easygoing. Whereas online, I'm short because I'm very succinct. I'm very direct. I don't beat around the bush. And so I can come across as mean. But I'm always open. Like today alone, I had 3 phone conversations, half an hour or more each with students in my class, consulting about, what's going on with their assignments and stuff. And so really listening and open to support them.
The difference I find, and maybe this is my own personal bias, is in listening to what happens with your students to you when there is an issue. They're not coming to you for help. None of them state their concern as I need help. 98% of them are, why are you making me do this? You're making this difficult. Their approach is to attack you, whether they're being overt about it or not. You know, you didn't do this. You didn't lay this out for me. You, right? Maya's asking for help.
Yeah.
Right? Maya is
true.
asking for help and saying, I don't get this. I'm struggling. What do I do? Right. And in that, she's saying, she's giving us examples. She was too tired to teach us the question, that quizzed us on the same question the next day. I didn't have a chance to learn it. I failed it. That's different.
Yeah.
Right.
And now it's affecting other things too.
100%.
She's been so wrapped up in it. She forgot to study a whole section for another test
I know, man.
that she did today.
But that's the ripple effect, right?
Yeah.
And this is, say what you want about the younger generation and how soft they are and all that, blah, 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 blah. I don't remember this much pressure.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
No,
I don't remember. And as an adult parental coach society, right? As the overseers of these kids, I don't think we as an adult, I'll throw myself in there, right? Rather than crapping on everybody else. The amount of times I hear people say, these kids should be able to, and they list off adult responsibilities.
Oh, yeah.
Adult responsibilities. And don't think for a second, maybe it's too much. It's always, no, they got to be able to do this. But I guarantee you, if you roll that clock back to 1991, that same idiot didn't have to do near as much as what the kids these days have to do.
Yeah.
Right. And
even the curriculum, we've seen a downward spiral, meaning they're expected to learn things like in math, especially math has been the biggest downward spiral, meaning they are expected to do harder math younger. Yeah.
And even take the curriculum component of it, they are inundated with information nonstop all the time.
Long. Yeah.
So,
and our brains can't process it.
If I remembered a billboard that I saw on the bus on the way home from school, that was about the only amount of extra information I was getting that day.
Totally.
Maybe reading the shower bottle while I was pooping. Maybe. That's the extra wording.
Yeah.
These kids are constant. From the second they wake up to the second they go to bed, there is a stream of information and pressure and responsibility, and it's all rationalized. And this is another. It is no different than the rationalization of what you and I have been talking about, right? Like the cost of everything is going up. And every time there's a cost increase, it's rationalized as, that's just the way it is. Sorry, you've got to figure it out, right? And the next thing you know, you've got $10 jugs of milk instead of $2.89. How do you make up that difference, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody does it. Everybody just expects the person on the receiving end to receive it and just continue to do it. There is a finite amount of money and ability to pay for that, just like there is a finite amount of brain power and ability to handle the pressure that comes with that, right? And as a society, I'll roll this back to the teachers. As teachers, you should have enough emotional intelligence, and I hate that term, but you should, to go, hang on. If this kid is breaking through and in a respectful way of saying, I don't get what's going on, should my response be to accuse them and to defend myself, or should it be to put my ego aside and do what I trained to do, which is teach this kid? Mm-hmm. Right? Because I'll tell you right now, no matter what this math teacher does for the rest of this term, I will never consider them to be a good teacher.
Right.
Right? Because
that bias is set in.
They've given me no other reason to think they are a good teacher.
But yeah.
Right? Yeah. Prove me wrong. But now you can't. But at the same time, it's just so disheartening. It's so disheartening to see how many opportunities. God, this is part two of our conversation from a couple episodes ago. These poor kids are smashed constantly.
Yeah.
Their friends mirror their parents, and they're like, I was talking to Willow today about how mean some of the people she knows are, because they all have Snapchat and they all start these group chats, and then they use to make fun of people, and then
Yeah.
right. And
well, and I even just remember a girl that I was working with who was at a party, and everyone was literally just on their phone at the party, laughing at, like, I can't believe she wore those pants to the party.
Yeah.
And
totally.
But sorry to interrupt.
Never had to deal with that.
Yeah.
Never. Right. Like, and it's just, it compounds every little bit that's thrust upon these kids and rationalizes, well, they just got to figure out how to deal with it. There's a finite amount of ability for those kids to do that. And we, as parents and educators and just grown fucking adults, should be smart enough to go, hang on. That 11-year-old doesn't need to be stressed about this. That 16-year-old doesn't need to be having a panic attack because she doesn't know what's going to happen when she walks into her school tomorrow with her teacher.
Yeah.
Right?
I bet that's what's going to happen.
It is 100% what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that teacher is going to regret that at parent-teacher conference. Because when you try and step, like you said, we don't step up a lot. In the sense of, we're not helicoptering and we're not always in there.
No,
we're not,
it's
whatever,
their
right?
responsibility. If they got a problem with
100%.
the coach, they got to talk to
100%.
them. Yeah.
But we've always said, we are the last option.
Yeah.
Right? Well, she did what she was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right? And
it's getting to the point, like her last test, she got 12%.
Yeah.
And so there comes a point where she's like, I need help.
She's
like,
not stupid.
Yeah. She's asked for a tutor. She's like, I need help.
Yeah.
And I didn't just go in doing it. It was all from her. This is what I've done. This is what I need. This is what I need from you.
Well, what did you say about how you felt when you got off the phone, when you were telling us the story? You were what?
Just upset, shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the parent.
I know.
Trying to help.
Yeah.
And you were left in such a state that you were upset enough you were shaking.
Yeah.
Not angry shaking.
And like sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
Inside.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so are you kidding me? Right? Like, it's just, everybody's got to relax. Everybody's just got to chill. We are our own worst enemies. And yet we're so quick to blame everybody else. And I realize that's what we're doing. We're blaming a teacher this whole episode. But at the same time, I hope we're showing clear path on what we've tried to do.
Well, and I think that's what we're going to like have some takeaways from here, because I don't want it to be a venting session. And I will get to my questions. I actually have some really good ones piled up, but I know part of me is like, oh, I just want to like wrap everybody up and just go to a little cottage in Brittany and just like have simplicity, walk to the beach.
I hear you.
And just, make it really simple. But on the other hand, I'm like, there is still learning opportunities here. 100%. And this is resilience building. It's hard. It's been hard for me. It's been certainly extremely hard for Maya, but she's got that experience now. Yeah. And it doesn't always go the way we want it to, but she is going to get help, whatever that's going to look like, whether it's from this teacher or somewhere else. And she's going to learn right now. It was really hard. It's still going to probably be hard for the next couple of weeks, maybe even for the rest of the semester. But she's going to look back on it and realize she survived it. And that's, part of what resilience is.
Well, and I hope one of the things that she takes away, aside from the fact that she did the right things, right? She asked for help. She's called out what she needs, blah, blah, blah. I hope that through this, she also realizes that once again, we tried to establish a safe spot, right?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. She got 12% of the time. I couldn't care less about the test, right? But what I can care is that,
I guess she had 23, so I was.
But it through all of it, when she comes out of it and the stress is gone and it's resolved itself and it's all taken care of, the opportunity that you and I had was to support her, right? And I hope that we did. And I hope that we continue to in the right way through this, right? Like, I mean, all kidding aside, I'm not going to be a dick. I'm going to be very forward. Like I want answers, but I'm not going to going to, abuse this poor teacher. But at the same time, there has to be accountability, right? And we teach that alongside resiliency. You have to be accountable, right? Could you have done more? Did you do more? All those questions come through. But at the end of the day, you talk to this teacher to support her, right? Because she had tried to do it herself and it didn't work. We're going to continue to try and do that as she tries to deal with it. My concern now is all the other stuff doesn't go away, and she's not going to deal with this. And it's just, you're right. It's going to be a rough couple of weeks, right?
Remind me, the sign up for teacher conferences opens up in a couple of days.
The first one, I'm going to stand outside the classroom with a coffee. I'm not going to shave. I may wear something inappropriate with mustard stains on it.
So I guess the takeaways. I mean, we never know what we're going to get for teachers. Totally. And I'm always preparing kids and parents. Your kid is going to have 30 different teachers in grade school until they graduate, grade 12 or more. But on average, it's about that. They're not all going to be great, right? And so what can we do? I mean, trying to build that relationship with teachers absolutely is important. Going into it collaboratively versus you need to right? Like not blamey.
Yeah. And that's two ways, right? It's not solely the teacher's fault.
But we can't, I don't know how they're going to respond. They might be blamey. So we can only take responsibility for what we can do. Yeah. I'm going to get to the kids' skills. Anything else that we can do as parents just to support the process so it doesn't get to this point. On the teacher front, we'll get to the kid front in a second.
I would just try and, one of the things that you and I always try and focus on, not super directly, is what the potential opportunity is in this, right? There's always an opportunity for something else, something better, right? So how could you approach it different? What could you have done differently? Did you do, not as reprimand, but as just trying to ensure that there's an adequate framing and reframing of the situation, right? It's fine if you're like, I could have studied more. Cool. There's your lesson, right? Now let's figure out how to solve the problem. But remember that.
That's
right?
the kid side of things.
I get that, but I'm coming at it from both sides. The reason why I mean this as if I was talking to the teachers or the parents, it's no different than what we said before. You have to take a step back.
Yeah.
Right.
The only thing that I think I would have done differently, I didn't know that there was a learning lead. And so maybe I would have reaching out, at the hierarchy, rather than going to the principal, right, to kind of address it. And so the principal wasn't involved at the end of the day, but it's just, like those steps. And maybe had I known there was teacher conferences, although like the semester is slipping by.
Yeah, she doesn't have enough time to wait.
So I don't know, but the big thing really is just establishing that relationship and collaborating and listening, us as well, even if we're furious, right? It's not going to do anybody any help if we're coming in with blazing guns.
Totally.
On the kids side of things, I always say, and I've talked about this before, you got to tell me the 3 ways that you've handled this. Right. And looking at the studying, and we know she's been using all of her spares. She's been reviewing her notes. She's been watching YouTube videos. She's been doing all of the things. She's been asking other people for support. And in class, she has seen when people ask for help that it's just glossed over. And she herself has asked for help, but there's still always a missing piece. There's a jump. And I kind of just want to let them know, like, ADHDers can't make that inferential jump. If you just add, like, I'm just thinking of the thing from a couple weeks ago. She went from this equation made sense. Everything made sense. And then all of a sudden there's a 2. Where did that 2 come from? And from one step to the next, but there's no explanation, right? Yeah. So there's always a missing piece. But I do think there's assertiveness skills too, right? Being able to, and I think Maya has been good, but when you're beat down and beat down and beat down, and adults and it's not just teachers, like just even coaching, she's tried and she's tried and she's tried, and it's just like she's given up to the point of she's just disengaged now. If coaches talk to her, she just looks away and shrugs because she's tried so much to communicate, right? I mean, it's not, she is good with that, but I think for other kids too, I mean, that's a huge skill that I see so many kids don't have, is asking for help, even in young grades.
Yeah.
And that's a huge skill. That's really
it's massive.
important.
And that's one that carries forward. Some of the most impressive people that I've worked with have zero fear about asking a question. Zero. I don't get that. And like on a call with 30 people, I'd be mortified to be like, oh, I don't understand what's going on right now. No, sorry, hang on, back up. I want to, what? And they'll make everybody stop and explain it. Okay, I'm still not getting it. And it's like, in my mind, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing that. But I have such respect for people that are capable of doing that. And they'll self-police and be like, okay, I'm still not getting it. Let's talk about it offline, right? That's the skill. That's the skill in terms of what they need to have, is that I don't get it. I don't get it. Kate, I still don't get it, but I'm not going to affect everybody else anymore. Right. I agree. Because there's degrees of assertiveness. Mm-hmm. There's the, hey, I don't get it. And you one shot and you're done. You have to be selfish.
And even going up after class, like,
totally.
Hey, like, can you just explain this? Or going, I mean, her big thing is going after hours too. And I think that's, I don't know why early.
It's intimidating.
Yeah.
You're asking a kid, and I'm sure other kids are like this, with social anxiety, to walk up to a teacher they've never met before and say, hey, I don't get this. I need your help.
Well, I don't think she wants to do her after hours because she's so exhausted. Yeah. Well, just to your point about all the pressures, like she just feels like, oh my gosh, it's already stressful to get to school on time. What, like, to go at 7 o'clock in the morning? That's just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And at lunch, that's my only break, to have a brain break, a brain reset. So timing isn't great either, but you're right.
I totally think that's it. Because I mean, this morning I went down and I popped her door open. She was still in bed and she was surrounded by notes. So she'd been up since whenever, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And she was using her first period spare to study. So I can't fault her for not trying.
Yeah.
Right? More than I ever did in high school.
Yeah.
But
any other takeaways? Sorry that this went sideways. Maybe I shouldn't rant. Maybe we should go back to like Hollywood deaths.
No, I think that's, I mean, it's all reaffirming what we've talked about in the past, right? But it's a relevant current example.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, some kids are going to click and get it and it's never going to be an issue and who cares? Some kids are not going to click, but they don't care. And they're just going to roll through with the 45 and 60 range that they're happy with. But I think it comes down to there's always opportunities to improve the interaction so that both parties get something out of it. And just leave your ego, right? If you're, and I won't pick on teachers, if you're an adult in a position of importance to a kid, you have an incredible responsibility that I don't think enough people understand, to be the best example of what a person can be. And just because you like to coach or you like to teach stuff doesn't mean you're inherently good at it. Wayne Gretzky is the greatest hockey player of all time. He sucked as a coach, right? Because it doesn't translate. It's a skill. It's that communication piece. Yeah. So,
and being open for feedback and asking.
I just realized ego kills everything. Ego kills everything. And it kills creativity. It kills spontaneity. It kills your ability to improve yourself through the same interaction. Like, I think anyone in that situation should be always thankful for an opportunity to get the feedback, adjust, and do better. Just like they should be showing the kids that to get the feedback is an opportunity to improve and be better. That's not what's happened here.
Yeah. Right? I always take at the end of the semester, students have to do their feedback. I always read through everything and have a couple of goals, what I can do a little bit better.
And some of them static, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get in between. It's either I'm awesome, she's awesome, Caroline is the best instructor, most supportive, or she is hard, and doesn't set her expectations clearly, or has high, actually it's not clear, it's high expectations that I have. But there's something else I was going to say. I know something else I was going to say, but I can't remember. I'm getting tired. It's past my bedtime. But there was something else. Oh, it was a good one too to end it.
Bring it home.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
What it was. Now it's going to be anticlimactic, I think.
It's not.
Okay. Well, just the fact that I want parents to hear this. My daughter has high aspirations to go to university, even go to get her PhD. That's on her horizon. I'm okay that she got 12% on her test. That's okay. It's not about the scores and the outcomes. And I know, unfortunately, we've created this society that it is, but I know parents just get so hung up and they're going to punish their kids and you got to study more. I know my kid's studying. That's not going to do anything else. It's just going to add more stress to them and a screw you attitude. Mm-hmm. It's not great that she got 12%, but there is a good chance that she fails. She has tried to figure it out, as long as I maintain 85 or higher in social, but she's been getting 100% on all of her exams so far in social. So I think she'll do that because she's also thinking scholarships, mm-hmm. right? This is her stress. It's not my stress. So she's looking at scholarships. So as long as she gets 55 in math and, 85 in social, it'll be okay. She'll still get her scholarships. She'll still be able to go to university. Worst case scenario, she does a little bit of extra math in the summer. Like she's figured it all out. Mm-hmm. And that's her deal to figure out. It's not ours. Yeah. We're here like contractors. She's the CEO of her learning. And she can take people's input, but at the end of the day, she's got to be the one to make the final decisions, right? Mm-hmm. And hire out her contractors who can help her, support her. But at the end of the day, it's her decision and her outcome and her journey. Yeah. So that's the only thing I was going to say.
Well, brought it home beautifully.
All righty.
Way to go. I got my high five. Yeah.
For this point.
Nope.
Not for whatever it was earlier. I can't even remember. Was that what it was?
Something along
I don't remember anymore. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, wandering minstrel with no clear topic.
I did have a clear topic. That just wasn't it.
That was awesome, though. It was good.
Okay.